Let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about this for a second. When was the last time you learned a new skill that actually had the potential to put money in your pocket? Not a hobby, not something nice to know, but a skill that could actually change how you earn a living. Now, look, if you're watching this and you're a Gen Xer like myself, chances are you were taught the same thing I was. Work hard, be loyal to a company, stick it out, and eventually things will work itself out. And for a long time, that advice worked, or at least it seemed to. But here's the uncomfortable truth most people are quietly feeling right now. Hard work alone doesn't protect you anymore. And I don't say that to scare you. I say it because I care enough to tell you the truth. Look, if this is hitting close to home, do me a favor and type yes in the comments or just nod along if you're watching the replay. You know, you're not alone here. I talk to a lot of Gen Xers, good people, smart people, hardworking people. And the theme I hear over and over is this: I did everything right. So why does it still feel like I'm falling behind? Look, you're working longer hours, costs keep going up, retirement feels more like a question mark than a plan. And deep down, there's this quiet fear. What if this is as good as it gets? Here's the part that no one explained to us growing up. The real advantage today isn't your job title. It's your skill set. Jobs come and go. Companies change directions. Pay structure shifts overnight, but skills go with you. And once you understand that, everything changes. Let me give you a simple reframe. Instead of asking, how do I make more money at my job? I want you to start asking, what skills would allow me to make more money without depending on my job? That question alone puts you ahead of 90% of people, because the people who are thriving right now aren't working harder. They're working differently. They've mastered skills that pay them whether they're at their desk, at home, or sitting on a beach with their phone in their hand. And no, this isn't about becoming a tech wizard or a social media influencer with millions of followers. Most of the people doing this quietly, successfully, and substantially look a lot like you. Let's talk about what really matters. The highest paid skills today all have one thing in common. They help business attract attention, build trust, and create sales. That's it. Now look, if you can help people discover a solution, explain it clearly, and guide them to take action, you are valuable in today's economy. This is why digital marketing skills are in such high demand. Not gimmicks, not trends, actual foundational skills like understanding how people make buying decisions, knowing how to position a solution online, or learning how automation works so systems run even when you're offline. These are skills you can learn once and use over and over again. And the best part, you don't need a degree. You don't need to be good with tech. And you don't need to start from scratch building everything yourself. Let's be honest for a moment. Times hit different when you're in your 40s and 50s. You don't have to gamble years away anymore. You don't want to hustle endlessly. And you definitely don't want to start something that feels confusing or overwhelming. You want something clear. You want something proven and respectful of your time and experience. That's why I learned the right skills matter more than chasing the next opportunity. Opportunities come and go. Skills compound. And once you own the skill, no one can take it away from you. Look, let me pause right here for a second. If what I'm saying makes sense, if you felt that quiet nudge telling you, I need to do something different, this is where I want you to take a small step. I want you to click the link in my bio. I want you to enter your email and watch the short walkthrough of how people are learning these skills and applying them in a simple, structured way. There's no pressure, no sales calls, just clarity. If you're ready now, go check it out. If not, keep watching. This next part is important. Look, here's the real reason most people don't learn new income producing skills. It's not laziness, it's not age, and it's definitely not a lack of intelligence. For most people, it's overwhelm. Too many options, too much noise, too many people telling you to figure it out. That's why people get stuck watching videos, saving posts, and never actually moving. Look, the missing piece isn't motivation. It's a clear path. When you've given when you're given a step-by-step system that shows you what to focus on, what to ignore, and how to apply what you learned immediately, that's when momentum shows up. The people I work with aren't trying to reinvent the wheel. They're learning how to plug into a proven automated system, use simple digital marketing skills, and let the system work for them 24/7. 2 hours a day, consistent action, no cold calling, no chasing friends and family. And over time, those skills stack, confidence grows, income becomes more predictable, and that constant background stress starts to quiet down. And that's the goal. Not hype, not overnight success, just control. Control over your time, control over your income, and control over your future. One more thing that matters, especially if you're Gen X, if you already have life experience, work ethic, perspective, learning these skills isn't starting over, it's redirecting them. You're taking everything you already know and applying it in a smarter way. And when the system is built for beginners with automation already in place, the learning curve is far gentler than most people expect. So let me bring this home. If you're tired of feeling like your future depends on decisions you can't control, okay, if you don't want to work harder just to stay in the same place, and if you're ready to master skills that can actually pay you in today's world, do me a favor, click the link in my bio, enter your email, and see how the system works, and decide if it makes sense for you. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need a starting point. And remember this, if you're tired of always being on, it's time to build a business that works when you don't. Click the link in my bio. I'll see you on the other side.